advice her brother to do some visuals tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
What's going on, peeps? I'm here at the hotel in Budapest. The girl Kinga just dropped me off. I'm not sure what the money situation is here, but she just dropped like 5 G's on the taxi from the airport to where I'm at right now. So I'm going to take a little rest for a little bit. In case I wanted a drink or anything, Coke, Pepsi, whatever, she gave me $2,000, you know, spending money just so I could buy a pop or something like that. So it's not just Jamaica, it's all over the place where the money situation is a bit funny. What's going on, peeps? Back in the hotel here in Budapest. I hope you like some of the footage that I took last night of some of the infrastructure and architecture and all that good stuff. Right now I'm just chilling, waiting for Kinga to come pick me up. We're gonna get going and see what's up today. Yeah, this place is really, I can't even believe that I'm here, to be perfectly honest with you. It still seems surreal. I can't understand nothing. Hello is not hello over here. This language does not sound like anything I've ever heard before, so I feel really dumb and retarded, but you know what? I'm here, and I'm grateful to be here. So, yeah, man, I'll let you guys know what's up. They got lots of weed over here, not that I'm into that, but they've been smoking weed like straight, non-stop. But yeah, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, so you try and fit in. Alright, so I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Talk to you later.
Give me a
Somebody for having me here, everybody in Budapest. It's my first time here, and it's been really great thus far. Hopefully I'll see everybody out tonight at 8:38. There's music from 9 p.m. and then we're just gonna party and have a good time, and just want to thank you guys and thank everybody who listens to T-Losh 90.3. So keep listening, keep playing good music, and thanks again for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. Szóval gyertek el, érdemes.
Alright, let's go in Budapest. This is where I'm going to be performing on this boat, so we're about to walk out here and see. I made the mistake of turning on my TV. Instantly, I found myself strapped into Dr. CNN's propaganda machine. He told me to sit there and open my eyes wide and only blink when my eyes got dry. His voice became soft as he said, watch plane number 1. Now watch plane number 2. I saw 2 planes right in my plain view. He continued, watch the first building fall. Now watch the next building fall. By now my mind was enthralled. He showed it to me over and over again. I saw it from every possible angle. I saw people being strangled by debris. And as the reporters rushed to make sense of this for me, who told me to start asking questions and thinking for myself, Dr. CNN got pissed and he tightened up the belt. He grabbed my arm and stuck in an IV and pumped me full of American white lies about American white lives, about American whites dying, leaving American white wives as American whites cried, an eye for an eye. But that would leave us all blind, so who would be left to see reality? You see, we can only be free when we no longer fear death. So to control us, Dr. CNN keeps replaying these scenes in our head, making us dread getting out of bed, waking up in cold sweat, screaming Bin Laden. But no one can save us from the propaganda machine. You see, the ruin of a nation begins in the home of its people. It begins in the living room of its people, with the TV being viewed by the people. When it comes to chaos and raising Cain, Dr. CNN is able, lynching his own brothers using digital cable. Free your mind and you will be free, but Dr. CNN won't let us turn off the TV or reach the remote. So instead we are bombarded with stats and quotes. America's going to spend billions to aid New York and to aid big business, to aid the aid workers and erect new buildings. But how much will be spent to counsel the children who have had no choice but to see through the lens of Dr. CNN and his propaganda machine, still trying to figure out what all of this means, becoming suspicious of the Arabs and Muslims on their street as Dr. CNN continues to feed American innocence and third world accountability, when America has third world communities filled with third world people with a third world mentality living in the middle of its so-called first world existence. Dr. CNN is persistent, readying us for war, but when it's all said and done, who amongst us will know what the hell we are fighting for? Black boys will be sent out on the front lines to represent their nation, the same black boys at the back of America's mind when they were seeking reparations, but none of that matters once Dr. CNN turns on the propaganda machine. You see, we will all scream an eye for an eye, but will any of us ever see? This is the last one for this set. As was said in the intro, I do have some little material over here. Feel free to come and take a look afterwards. This is called My Declaration of War. On behalf of the voiceless and the poor, this is my declaration of war, for I have been a victim of terrorism for 29 years and no one seems to care, so I refuse to wear flags as they are a part of the national dress code, for what we've come to know as terrorism comes down to who has the power to name things. You see, peace missions and terrorism are two terms for the same thing. It's all a matter of who's giving and who's receiving, who's saying and who's believing, for the poor and the rich don't play on the same team, by the same rules, or in the same league, so it would be naive for one to believe that they are being attacked because they are rich and that others are jealous of the lives that they live, for when you are rich, you are hated, but when you are poor, you are despised. So open your eyes and see where the root of terror lies. As I continue watching storm clouds waiting for freedom to reign, watching as my fellow citizens go insane, becoming patriotic flag wavers, asking God to save us and protect us from our neighbors. But when we kneel and send up prayers, do we ever ask God to protect them from us? In God we trust, or at least so we say, but why don't we trust that things will be okay instead of sending humans as pawns to become murderers in God's name? 4 Canadian soldiers were slain at the hands of an American bomb, leaving an entire nation wondering what the hell is going on, and as their memory expires, we are told that their death was the result of friendly fire, making me wonder, well, if that's friendly, what must be happening to the enemy as identified by Dr. CNN? I can see the walls closing in and it looks as though we are moving back into 1984. Big Brother is taking over and seems to be loving it. They say they're protecting us from terrorists, but who's protecting us from George Bush and his government, who's trying to get a bigger piece of the pie under the disguise of fighting for peace? But there can be no peace in times of war, so on behalf of the voiceless and the poor, I make this declaration that I refuse to take it anymore. And even if I can't change things, I can at least be sure that I see clear, because I've been there. I mean, I lived there as a victim of North American terrorists whose arrogance allows them to walk out of a conference in South Africa designed for them to repent and admit their wrongs, but the song remains the same and we remain the slaves, and I remain one man with one mic and the opportunity to make this declaration of war.